ಬಂದ, ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರುದೇವ ಮನೆಗೆ ಬಂದ. ಕಾಲಲಿ ಪಾದುಕ ಕೈಯಲಿ ದಂಡ, ಕಾಲಲಿ ಪಾದುಕ ಕೈಯಲಿ ದಂಡ, ಬಾಲರವಿಯ ಕಳೆಯ ಯೋಗಿ ಮನೆಗೆ ಬಂದ, ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರು ದೇವ ಮನೆಗೆ ಬಂದ. ಮಸ್ತಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಜಟೆ ಶೋಭಿಸುತ್ತಲ್ಲಿ, ಕಸ್ತೂರಿ ತಿಲಕ ಚಂದನ ಹಣೆಯಲ್ಲಿ. ಮಸ್ತಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಜಟೆ ಶೋಭಿಸುತ್ತಲ್ಲಿ, ಕಸ್ತೂರಿ ತಿಲಕ ಚಂದನ ಹಣೆಯಲ್ಲಿ. ವಿಸ್ತರ ನಗುಮುಖದ ಆ ವಿಸ್ತರ ನಗುಮುಖದ ಯೋಗಿ ಮನೆಗೆ ಬಂದ, ಯೋಗಿ ಮನೆಗೆ ಬಂದ, ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರುದೇವ ಮನೆಗೆ ಬಂದ. ಜೋಲುತ್ತಿರಲು ಕೊರಳೊಳು ರುದ್ರಾಕ್ಷ, ಜೋಳಿಗೆ ಬಗಲಲಿ ತ್ರಿಲೋಕ ರಕ್ಷ. ಜೋಲುತ್ತಿರಲು ಕೊರಳೊಳು ರುದ್ರಾಕ್ಷ, ಜೋಳಿಗೆ ಬಗಲಲಿ ತ್ರಿಲೋಕ ರಕ್ಷ. ಕಾಷಾಯಾಂಬರದ ಆ ಕಾಷಾಯಾಂಬರದ ಯೋಗಿ ಮನೆಗೆ ಬಂದ, ಯೋಗಿ ಮನೆಗೆ ಬಂದ, ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರುದೇವ ಮನೆಗೆ ಬಂದ. ಕುರುದ್ವೀಪದಿ ಕೃಷ್ಣೆಯ ತಟದಲ್ಲಿ, ಸರಸದಿ ವಾಸಿಪ ಶ್ರೀಪಾದ ಯೋಗಿ. ಕುರುದ್ವೀಪದಿ ಕೃಷ್ಣೆಯ ತಟದಲ್ಲಿ, ಸರಸದಿ ವಾಸಿಪ ಶ್ರೀಪಾದ ಯೋಗಿ. ಪರಮ ಪುರುಷ ನೃಹರಿ ಈ ಪರಮ ಪುರುಷ ನೃಹರಿ ಯೋಗಿ ಮನೆಗೆ ಬಂದ, ಯೋಗಿ ಮನೆಗೆ ಬಂದ, ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರುದೇವ ಮನೆಗೆ ಬಂದ. ಕಲ್ಪದ್ರುಮನೀತ ನಿತ್ಯ ಪೂರ್ಣ ಸಚ್ಚಿದಾತ್ಮದತ್ತ. ಭಕ್ತ ಕಾಮ ಕಲ್ಪದ್ರುಮನೀತ ನಿತ್ಯ ಪೂರ್ಣ ಸಚ್ಚಿದಾತ್ಮದತ್ತ. ಶಂಕರ ಗುರು ರೂಪ ಚಿನ್ಮಯ ಗುರು ರೂಪ ಯೋಗಿ ಮನೆಗೆ ಬಂದ, ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರುದೇವ ಮನೆಗೆ ಬಂದ. ಕಾಲಲಿ ಪಾದುಕ ಕೈಯಲಿ ದಂಡ ಬಾಲರವಿಯ ಕಳೆಯ ಯೋಗಿ ಮನೆಗೆ ಬಂದ ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರುದೇವ ಮನೆಗೆ ಬಂದ ಯೋಗಿ ಮನೆಗೆ ಬಂದ ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರುದೇವ ಮನೆಗೆ ಬಂದ.
सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां. श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं. शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः. ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेमदेवहितं यदायुः. स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति. ॐ अथाश्वलायनः भगवन्तं परमेष्ठिनम् उपसमेत्योवाच अधीहि भगवन् ब्रह्मविद्यां वरिष्ठां सदा सद्भिः सेव्यमानां निगूढां यया चिरात् सर्वपापं व्यपोह्य परात्परं पुरुषं याति विद्वान्. तस्मै स होवाच पितामहश्च श्रद्धा भक्तिध्यानयोगादवैः न कर्मणा न प्रजया धनेन परेण नाकं निहितं गुहायां विभ्राजते यत् यतयो विशन्ति वेदान्तविज्ञानसुनिश्चितार्थाः सन्न्यासयोगाद्यतयः शुद्धसत्त्वाः ते ब्रह्मलोकेषु परान्तकाले परामृतात् परिमुच्यन्ते सर्वे विविक्तदेशे च सुखासनस्थः शुचिः समग्रीव शिरः शरीरः अत्याश्रमस्थः सकलेन्द्रियाणि निरुध्य भक्त्या स्वगुरुं प्रणम्य हृत्पुण्डरीकं विरजं विशुद्धं विशदं विशोकम् अचिन्त्यमव्यक्तमनन्तरूपं शिवं प्रशान्तममृतं ब्रह्मयोनिं तथादिमध्यान्तविहीनमेकं विभुं चिदानन्दमरूपमद्भुतम् उमासहायं परमेश्वरं प्रभुं त्रिलोचनं नीलकण्ठं प्रशान्तं ध्यात्वा मुनिर्गच्छति भूतयोनिं स ब्रह्मा स शिवः सेन्द्रः सोऽक्षरः परमस्वराट् स एव विष्णुः स प्राणः स कालोऽग्निः स चन्द्रमाः स एव सर्वं यद्भूतं यच्च भव्यं सनातनं ज्ञात्वा तं मृत्युमत्येति नान्यः पन्था विमुक्तये सर्वभूतस्थमात्मानं सर्वभूतानि चात्मनि सम्पश्यन् ब्रह्म परमं याति नान्येन हेतुना आत्मानमरणिं कृत्वा ज्ञाननिर्मथनाभ्यासात् पाशं दहति पण्डितः स एव माया परिमोहितात्मा शरीरमास्थाय करोति सर्वं स्त्रियन्नपानादिविचित्रभोगैः स एव जाग्रत्परितृप्तिमेति स्वप्ने स जीवः सुखदुःखभोक्ता कल्पितजीवलोके सुषुप्तिकाले सकले विलीने तमोभिभूतः सुखरूपमेति पुनश्च जन्मान्तरकर्मयोगात् स एव जीवः स्वपिति प्रबुद्धः पुरत्रये क्रीडति यश्च जीवः ततस्तु जातं सकलं विचित्रम् आधारमानन्दमखण्डबोधं यस्मिन् लयं याति एतस्माज्जायते प्राणः मनः सर्वेन्द्रियाणि च खं वायुर्ज्योतिरापः पृथिवी विश्वस्य धारिणी यत्परं ब्रह्म सर्वात्मा विश्वस्यायतनं महत् सूक्ष्मात् सूक्ष्मतरं नित्यं तत्त्वमेव त्वमेव तत् जाग्रत्स्वप्नसुषुप्त्यादि प्रपञ्चं यत् प्रकाशते तद्ब्रह्माहमिति ज्ञात्वा सर्वबन्धैः प्रमुच्यते त्रिषु धामसु यद्भोग्यं भोक्ता भोगश्च यद्भवेत् तेभ्यो विलक्षणः साक्षी चिन्मात्रोऽहं सदाशिवः. Yes. So the great sage Ashvalayana approached Lord Brahmaji and sought for the spiritual knowledge. Adhihi Bhagavan Brahma Vidyam Varishta. O Lord, please teach me that Brahma Vidya which is always resorted to by the wise people, which is the best among all branches of knowledge, gaining which one becomes free from all kinds of papas, and then one attains the ultimate reality. O teacher, please teach me. So what did Brahmaji say? Shraddha Bhakti Dhyana Yoga Tavaihi. Yes, this knowledge can be gained only by Shraddha, faith, Bhakti, devotion, and Dhyana Yoga, meditational practices. Mind has to be prepared. And then Brahmaji goes on to give this knowledge. Na karmana na prajayadhanena tyage naike amritattva manasho. This amritattvam, that state of perfection, the state of immortality can be gained only by renunciation. What has to be renounced? Our identification with the body, mind, intellect, with the matter envelopments have to be renounced. Immortality is already there. Only because of our wrong notion about ourselves, misunderstanding about ourselves, we are not experiencing it. So this misunderstanding can be removed only through knowledge, not by karma, dhana or praja, not by progeny, not by wealth, not by action. This misunderstanding can be removed. It can be removed only through knowledge. So what has to be done? Purify the mind through karma yoga, and then chitta shuddhi through karma yoga, chitta ekagrata through upasana yoga, and then through shravana, manana, nididhyasana gain the knowledge and thus be free. This is the message. So what has to be done? Brahmaji then goes on to explain the antaranga sadhana. At the seat of meditation, what you have to do? So sit comfortably in a solitary place and slowly withdraw your mind, your senses, etc. Develop devotion. Remember, prostrate unto your teacher with devotion, with humility, with reverence. And then prepare your mind, make it free from rajas and tamas. How to do it? Invoke your Ishta Devata. Uma Sahayam Parameshwaram Prabhum Trilochanam Neelakantham Prashantam. Invoke your Ishta Devata. Thus fill your heart with love, devotion and all such noble virtues. And then start doing the highest sadhana. What is it? Jnana Nirmathana has to be done. So what is the technique given here? Pranavam has to be taken. Take the Omkara and then whatever the scriptures have said about this Omkara, whatever the meanings it has given, whatever the logics it has given, through the scriptural statements about the ultimate reality, do the churning. So what is this pranava? It is nothing but A, O, plus silence. So what is this A, O, It is waking, dream, deep sleep. So what is the churning to be done? All the states, waking, dream and deep sleep states, they are but the states of the mind. So when the mind is in the waking state, you experience waking world. When the mind is in the dream state, you experience the dream world. And when the mind dissolves, you experience no world. Therefore, world exists on the mind. Mind exists in consciousness. Therefore, consciousness is the adharam, support. Moreover, consciousness alone is real because in all the three states, this is the only one thing which remains unbroken. So, akhanda bodham. So, therefore, since this consciousness is there as the support, as the undeniable factor in all the three states, therefore, this consciousness alone is the ultimate reality. So then what has to be done? Jagrat swapna sushuptyadi prapancham yaf prakashate. Which is verse 17. Jagrat Swapna Sushuptyadi Prapancham Yat Prakashate. So this consciousness which illumines your Jagrat, Swapna and Sushupti avasthas, this consciousness you have to hold on. That consciousness is none other than Brahma, the Supreme Lord, the ultimate truth. This Brahman is you yourself. Tat tvameva tvameva tat. You are that truth. What happens when you do that? Sarva bandhaiv pramuchyate. You become free from all bondages. So what is the practical technique? The practical technique is, in this world there is bhokta, bhoga and bhogyam. You are different from all these three. Who are you? You are tebhyo vilakshana SΑKSHީ. You are the SΑKSHީ. So now and then, again and again, become a SΑKSHީ. This is the technique. Abide in the witnessing consciousness and start witnessing everything that is happening in and around you. So this abiding in consciousness is a practice which can be cultivated. So this consciousness is not something which comes and goes. It is an eternal thing. It is a changeless thing. So what happens when you hold on to changeless thing? You experience changelessness. Thus, you become free from all kinds of, all kinds of changes. When you meditate on change, you experience change. When you meditate on changelessness, you experience changelessness. Changelessness state is mukti or moksha. Yes. Now, continuing the same line, verse number 19. Mayyeva sakalam jatam Mayi sarvam pratishthitam Mayi sarvam layam yati Tad brahmadvayamasmyaham Mayyeva sakalam jatam Mayi sarvam pratishthitam Mayi sarvam layam yati Tad brahmadvayamasmyaham. Mayi, in me, in this pure consciousness. Mayi eva, in this alone. Sakalam jatam, everything is born. Everything in this world arises in me. Mayi sarvam pratishthitam, everything resides in me, exists in me. Mayi sarvam layam yati, everything dissolves in me. Right. Everything comes from me, everything exists in me, everything dissolves in me. Meaning what? Everything comes and goes, but I remain permanent. Right. Before the movie, screen was there. During the movie, screen is there. When the movie is over, screen will remain. In the same way, this consciousness is the screen, is the substratum. Do you want freedom from suffering and sorrows, etc.? Hold on to this. This is Ananda Swarupa. This is Amrita Swarupa. This is how you have to meditate on the scriptural verses. Feel that this me is this pure consciousness. Tad Brahma Advayam Asmi Aham. Who am I? Aham Advayam, the non-dual Brahman I am. So all these things we have already seen. Normally the example given is the pot, etc. So before the pot, mud existed. During the pot also, mud was there. And even when the pot breaks, mud remains. So whatever is the reality, it remains all through. So therefore, hold on to that which is changeless, that which is eternal. You have a choice. You can either hold on to that which is changing, or you can hold on to that which is changeless. Your decision will determine your state of mind, your condition of life. Do you want misery? Then go after the change. Misery will be your eternal companion. Do you want peace? Then go and hold on to that which is eternal. So again and again the same thing. Now how great this consciousness is being described in the next verse. Anoraniyanahame tadvat Mahanaham Vishwamaham Vichitram Puratanoham Purushohamishah Hiranmayoham Shivarupamasmi Anoraniyanahame tadvat Mahanaham Vishwamaham Vichitram Puratanoham Purushohamishah Hiranmayoham Shivarupamasmi. Yes. So what is this consciousness? Some descriptions are given. Though it is indescribable, some effort is made to make us realize the glory of this consciousness. How perfect we are. How great we are. So what is this consciousness? Anoraniyan aham. Who am I? Anoraniyan. Smaller than the smallest. Earlier what was the term used? Sukshmat sukshmataram. It was used in verse number 16. Now it is said Anoraniyan. Smaller than the smallest. Subtler than the subtlest. Earth. You can hear, feel, see, taste, smell. Shabda sparsha rupa rasa gandha is there. Go one step ahead. Water. What is not there? Gandha is not there. Other four qualities are there. Go to the next. Fire. In fire, gandha, smell and taste, it is not there. Only three qualities. Go to the next. Vayu, air. What all things are not there? Go from the back. Smell, taste and form is not there in Vayu. Go to the next. Space. What is not there? All the four are not there. Only one, sound alone is there. Right? Can you go further? After space is mind. Right? Mind cannot be grasped by any of these five sense organs. You can't hear also. So as you go higher and higher, it becomes subtler and subtler. Subtler the thing, more difficult it is to grasp. Grosser the thing, it is easy to understand. Mind is one step ahead. The space is supported in the mind. Without mind, there cannot be space. When the mind is not there, space is not there. In deep sleep, do you experience space? No. Can you go further? After mind comes consciousness. Subtler than the subtlest. It is subtler than the mind. Therefore, consciousness is able to support the mind. We are able to be conscious of our thoughts. Thoughts are supported by consciousness. Now, can you go further? No. Consciousness is the ultimate. Therefore, it is anoraniyan, smaller than the smallest. At the same time, mahanaham. Mahana means mahato mahiyan, bigger than the biggest. Why bigger than the biggest? Because everything is supported by consciousness. Smaller than the smallest. Bigger than the biggest. Now everywhere it is used, aham, it is me. Don't say some consciousness, it is me. I am this. So at the seat of meditation, these are the terms which you have to bring into your mind. These are the verses to be chanted at the seat of meditation. And thus, telling your mind, oh foolish mind, don't go out. Such a perfect Lord is there as the very own self. Come back. Yato yato nischarati manaschanchalamasstiram tatastato niyamyetat atmanyeva vasham naye. So the mind will ask, why should I come back? Then you say, fool, look at this. Look at your own self, how great it is. Everything that you are craving for is already there. This way, bring the mind back using these verses. Vishwamaham, I am everything. Vichitram, the most amazing. Vichitram. What is the greatest wonder in this world? The greatest wonder in this world is me, myself. You have to know yourself like this. And then Puratanoham, Aham Puratanaha, the most ancient. Pura api nutanaha iti Puratanaha. Even though it is the most ancient, it is absolutely fresh and new. Right? One person went to a museum. And then unknowingly he just knocked down one statue. And then the statue broke. So the person who was in charge of that museum, he came running, shouting, do you know what you have done? This statue is 10,000 years old. And that person said, thank God, I thought it was a new one. So, older the thing, but here, this consciousness, it is the oldest. In fact, even the time exists in it. It is beyond time also. Time is also a concept of the mind. It is something beyond time. Puratanoham, Purushaha aham, the supreme self I am. Ishaha aham, the supreme Lord, the one who rules everyone. Hiranmayoham, Hiranmaya means golden. Golden means what? Gold is self-shining. So therefore, this consciousness is self-effulgent. Hiranmayoham, Shivarupamasmi. What is my nature? My nature is auspiciousness. Shivarupam. Auspicious nature. This consciousness is the most auspicious. Why is it most auspicious? When you meditate on this, you attain peace, you attain contentment, you become free from all confusions, delusions. You experience perfection in you, therefore it is auspicious. It takes away all sorrows from you, therefore it is auspicious. All questions are answered, therefore it is auspicious. Moreover, this is as far as the individual is concerned. What about the society? Suppose everyone meditates on this consciousness. Will there be any fight in the society? Unfortunately, it is a religion which is creating maximum violence and death in the society. In the name of religion, there is maximum violence. Yes or no? Yes. Nowadays you find in newspapers how many death, how many killings. All in the name of God. All in the name of religion which is supposed to preach peace and harmony. All this confusion is because we don't know what this God is. We have misunderstood God. God is none other than the consciousness. Now, can there be Muslim consciousness, Christian consciousness and Hindu consciousness? Consciousness is one. Right? So you suppose this knowledge is propagated. Can there be any violence? No. In fact, we respect others. We will start respecting others, loving others. That's why in Chinmaya we say, Hari Om. The Lord who is there in me is the very same Lord in you. Externally we may be different, BMI may be different, but in essence we are one. Namaste, Namahate. My prostration unto the Lord in you. That is called Namaste. Just see. Ideologies may be different. Our likes and dislikes may be different. But in essence, we are all one. This is the purpose of religion. Peace, harmony, love, compassion, forgiveness. This is what we have to propagate. This is the purpose of religion. If this purpose is not served, then it is better to keep the religion away. We don't want violence in the name of religion. So this is Shivarupam. Shivarupam is the most auspicious. The world will be most wonderful if we can propagate this knowledge among the masses. Shivarupamasmi. Next one. Apanipadohamachintya shaktihi pashyamya chakshusashrunomya karnaha aham vijanami viviktarupaha न चास्ति वेता मम चित् सदाहम् अपाणिपादोऽहमचिन्त्य शक्तिः पश्याम्य चक्षुःशृणोम्य कर्णः अहं विजानामि विविक्तरूपः न चास्ति वेता मम चित् सदाहम्. Again the description continues. How great the self in me is. Apanipadoham. I am without pani and pada. Pani means hands. Pada means legs. Apanipada. I am without hands and legs, but achintya shaktihi. Unbelievable power. Infinite power. I am infinitely powerful even though I don't have hands and legs. Pashyami achakshuhu. Though I am achakshuhu, I don't have eyes, but I see everything. This is a description of consciousness. Without eyes, it sees everything. In fact, it is the one which gives the eyes the power to see. It empowers the eyes to see. Sashrunomi akarnaha. I listen without ears. Without ears, this consciousness listen. In fact, it is this consciousness which empowers the ears to listen. So, Pani Pada represents karmendriyas. Chakshu and Karna represents all the jnanendriyas. So, what are the pancha jnanendriyas? Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin. Jnanendriyas. You gain knowledge from these jnanendriyas. What are the karmendriyas? Hands, legs, tongue. You speak also, isn't it? That's also karma. Then genital organ, anus. 5 karmendriyas. All these karmendriyas and jnanendriyas are functioning because of me. Consciousness enlivens them. In fact, consciousness doesn't need them. Even without that, it can do everything. That's what is being said. Aham vijanami. I know everything. Vivikta rupaha. Though I am formless. Devoid of form, I know every form. Why does it know? It knows because knowing is its nature. Yes, consciousness knows everything, but is there anyone who knows consciousness? Nachasti veta mama veta nasti. There is nobody who knows me. I know everything, but nobody knows me. What does it mean? It means, so the answer is given here. Chit sada aham. Aham sada chit, because I am always consciousness. Consciousness cannot be known as an object. It is the very subject. Being the very subject, nobody can know me as an object because I am the ultimate knower. Sense organs cannot know me. Mind cannot know me. I can be known only by abiding in me. Being consciousness is knowing consciousness. Right? Again, this is the glory. The whole movie you watch, but there is one thing which is not in the movie, but it definitely must have been present. What is that? No, screen you are seeing it. In the whole movie, So many things are there, so many characters are there, so many happenings are there. But there is one thing which you are not seeing in the movie, but it must have been there, without which movie cannot be shot. What is that? Camera, isn't it? In the movie, do you see the camera? No. But the very fact that the movie is there, it implies that there was a camera which saw everything, isn't it? Which shot everything. Camera is not seen, but everything else is seen. In the same way, this consciousness is the camera, SＡKSHީ. The very fact that the eyes are seeing what has to be inferred, there is this camera which is on, consciousness. The very fact that the hands and legs, everything is functioning. What is it that which is making it function? Consciousness is present. It's an inferential knowledge. It has to be inferred. How can this inert BMI, body-mind complex, how can it function? It is inert. It has no life. But even then, life is pulsating through it. What does it mean? There has to be a life-giving principle behind it. Isn't it? Suppose one empty chair starts jumping. Won't you be amazed? How is this? Naturally you will ask, is there some rope or something which is pulled? Because just like that it cannot jump. Right? But when the body jumps, nobody doubts. Body is also the same thing only. They are Panchamahabhutas. What else? Isn't it? What is it that which makes this body function alive? It is nothing but consciousness, which is our highest nature, higher nature. So what is the benefit of having this knowledge? Now let us discuss a little bit of practical aspect of this knowledge. Point number 1. At the BMI level, nobody can be perfect. But at the consciousness level, everybody is perfect. So if I want to seek perfection, where should I seek it? I should not seek it in the BMI. I should seek it in consciousness. If you seek perfection in BMI, you will be disappointed. In the whole world, people are disappointed because they are trying to seek perfection through BMI. What is the place where you should seek perfection? In consciousness. So if your body is imperfect, no problem. Accept it cheerfully. If the mind is imperfect, no problem. Accept it cheerfully. Because BMI can never be perfect. So what happens? Cheerful acceptance happens when you are aware of this knowledge. Right? You don't try to compare yourself with others. Naturally, all the jealousies will vanish. Somebody may be far, far better than you. So what? So what? The essential nature in me, the higher nature in me is perfect. Once this knowledge comes, there is total cheerful acceptance of oneself as one is. Isn't it? You are happy with yourself. You accept yourself cheerfully. Right? Now the second thing. Whenever difficulties come, problems come, challenges come, what you should do? Connect yourself to the higher source. So when a steep climbing comes, when you are driving, what do? You change the gear, isn't it? Because you know the vehicle cannot take up that load, so what do? You change the gear, you put it in 1. Then you climb, isn't it? In the same way, in life, when you find that the problems and challenges, difficulties are becoming too much to handle, what you should do? Change the gear. Change the gear means stop the extroverted activity, connect yourself to the infinite source of strength within you. Right? And then you will find that inside there is infinite strength to face the outer challenges. It is already there. You are not experiencing it because you are not connecting it. Suppose you don't change the gear and in the fourth gear itself you keep going, trying to climb that steep. What will happen? You will not be able to climb. It is not the problem with the vehicle, it is a problem with you. Isn't it? Everybody has been embedded with infinite power within. It is already there. You have to just connect it. That's all. When the mobile gets totally discharged, when that battery level comes down, what do? You charge it, isn't it? In the same way, we should now and then charge ourselves. When you are into the world, facing the problems and challenges of the world, performing your duties, now naturally you will get discharged because it is an extroverted activity. At that time, you can't go into deep meditation at all. Not possible. Right? It is natural. Mind will get filthy. Mind will become impure. Mind will get disturbed. All the negativities of the mind, it will come. Don't worry. At the end of the day, in the evening, what you do? Take a bath, freshen up yourself, and then charge the mobile. And then before going to sleep, you should be fresh. Again early morning, again charge. Everything is there within you. You don't have to. And then once you are fully charged, again enter into the world. Fight the battle of life. Correct? Over a period of time, you will learn how to charge even while fighting the battle of life. In the beginning, at least charge twice, early morning and evening. Slowly, you develop the technique, a knack. There is a knack of connecting to the higher. You develop that knack. Just like a businessman. In the beginning, his business will go into loss only because he doesn't know what the customers want. But slowly he develops the knack. He knows what majority of the customers want. And so, therefore, he will keep only those items, isn't it? In every profession, there is something called knack. Every profession. Once you know the knack of it, then without effort, you get it. In the same way, this also, what you call? This knack of meditation also comes with practice. How to tune to God, there is a knack. What is that he is expecting and what is that which he doesn't like, there is a knack. With egoistic attitude when you approach, you will not get the connectivity. But when with total surrender, total humility when you approach, immediately you get the connectivity. Now this is the knack. So there is a way of surrendering. There is a way of getting connected. There is a way of getting recharged. This will happen only when you do it every day without missing. Right? Spirituality never tells you to run away from the world. Spirituality never tells you to escape from the world. What does spirituality say? Be in the world. Fulfill all your duties, and wherever God has put you, that is the right place for you. Whatever roles you are supposed to play the role beautifully well. Right? But never forget your higher nature. This is all what it says. You don't have to go to Himalayan mountains to know your higher nature. It is already there with you. Why do you want to escape the world? Live in the world. In fact, when you live in the world, when you face these problems and challenges, it is at that time that you are inspired to connect to the higher. If there is no challenge, why should you connect to the higher? You change the gear only when there is steep climb, isn't it? Otherwise, why should you change the gear? In the same way, Bhagavan deliberately gives you difficulties and problems. Only that which you can handle, only that much he will give you. So that, difficulties are given so that you will connect yourself to the higher. Right? Measured doses of problems are given. Because everyone's what you call, handling capacities are different. So measured doses of problem, so that you will connect to Him, gain strength from Him, and then face the challenge. Every time when you start seeing this result, that yes, whenever I got connected to Him, I became strong, I could face the challenge. So what happens? The frequency of getting connected will increase. Now and then you will go. It becomes a habit. That's why Kunti Mata prays. What is her prayer? Oh Lord, give me problems, tragedies only. So that, because only in difficulties I remember you. So see to it that I am always amidst problems. It's a fact. It's a psychological fact. We, from the depth of the heart, we pray only when there are problems. Otherwise we don't. Everything becomes a mechanical prayer. The prayer becomes deep only when we are in crisis. Right? So world is a wonderful place to develop devotion for God. Why run away from the world? Right? Whatever roles you have to play in the world, play the role, but never forget your higher nature. Just like an actor. That actor is ready to play the role of a beggar also. Why? Because he knows he is not a beggar. He is somebody else. Right? And he plays that begging role so beautifully well. Why? Because deep down he knows he is something different. Even if he wants to die on the stage, he is ready. Isn't it? He dies. Beautifully he dies. Beautiful demonstration of death. He is able to do. Why? Because he knows he is not going to die. In the same way, in life also we are asked to play various roles. Father, mother, husband, wife, employer, employee, this, that. So many roles are there. But unless you know your higher nature, you will not be able to play the role beautifully well. So escapism from world is not advised in scriptures. That is why that Bhagavad Gita, importance of Bhagavad Gita is that Bhagavan gives the entire spiritual knowledge in the battlefield to send a signal, to send a warning to everyone that spirituality is not something which has to be practiced in the solitary jungles. Yes. So this is something practical. Next one, verse number 22. Vedairaneikairahameva vedyah Vedanta-krit veda-videva chaham Na punya-pape mama nasti nashah Na janma dehendriya buddhirasti Vedairaneikairahameva vedyah Vedanta-krit veda-videva chaham Na punya-pape mama nasti nashah Na janma dehendriya buddhirasti. Everything is me alone. Vedairaneikaihi. Among all the Vedas, ahameva vedyah. I am the one thing to be known. Vedanta-krit aham. I am the author of the Vedanta. Vedavit aham. The knower of the Veda also is me. So what are... Everything is me. Knower is me. The means of knowledge is me. The known thing is also me. Knower, PRAMATÀ, is me. Means of knowledge, pramanam, is me. The object of knowledge, prameya, is me. Again, triputi. Knower, known, means of knowledge. Everything is me alone. Why? Because other than me, nothing exists. Simple. Na punya pape. I have no punya or papa. Punya and Papa belongs to whom? Punya and Papa belongs to the Jiva. Consciousness identified with BMI. Punya Papa belongs to him. Mama nasti nashaha. There is no destruction for me. There is no death for me. Na janma. There is no birth for me. I am birthless, deathless. I am akarta, abhokta. That is what is being said. Na deha indriya buddhirasti. There is no body, there is no sense organ, there is no intellect in me. I am free from everything. Right. You should see how the people who have been detected with cancer, how they suffer. Have you ever visited such people? They are sure to die. Only few days. Days are counted. How much miserable they are. There is no hope. Even the doctors have left them. So miserable they are. You know what is the cause of the misery? The cause of the misery is that for them, they have totally identified with their limited body. Other than this body, they don't know anything else. When your entire attention is upon the lower nature, and when you don't know anything about the higher nature, you cannot be but depressed. Because everyone wants Sat existence. Everyone wants Anand, happiness. How much ever they may say, I have accepted this, that, etc. No. Deep down they are miserable. Externally they may say, hey, it's okay, etc., etc. Without this knowledge, you cannot be cheerful in such moments of tragedies. And look at Ramana Maharshi, how he faced cancer. For him, this body was an insignificant piece of filth floating in the infinite ocean of consciousness. Our understanding about life makes a huge difference. Ignorant person also lives in the body. Knowledgeable person also lives in the body. But same situation, see how they face it. Knowledge makes all the difference. Coconut tree, is it big or small? You will say, it is big, Swamiji. Yes. But suppose the same coconut tree you are seeing from a top of a mountain. Then what do you see? It is a small plant, isn't it? Compared to the huge mountain, this tree is nothing, isn't it? In the same way, the person who sees only the lower nature, he sees that lower nature as everything. But the one who has seen, one who has experienced the higher nature, for him, the lower nature becomes insignificant. You understand? What you pay attention to in life makes all the difference. People who are not aware of this great knowledge, the higher nature in them, it is not that the higher nature is not there. It is there. But throughout their life, they have lived an ignorant life, not paying any attention to this knowledge, disregarding this knowledge, ignoring this knowledge, and the price they pay is very, very heavy. Misery, dejection, depression, helplessness, hopelessness, what not. What makes the difference? Knowledge makes the difference. Isn't it? He is like a beggar, begging, and right underneath, he is sitting on a box full of treasure. Gems and jewels and everything is there. He is sitting on the box. He doesn't know what is there inside the box, and he is sitting and begging. This is exactly what happens to an ignorant man. Right? One who knows this great truth, he is not bothered about the fate of the body. Body has to die someday or the other. How does it matter? Some reason you will say, cancer or this or that or whatever. Someday it has to die. It has to decay and die. That is the nature of the body. Once you have this knowledge, you accept it. You have no problem with it. You gracefully age. Graceful aging is an art, and that art can be mastered only with knowledge. It is said that the Mahatma carries the body just like cow carrying the garland. Suppose you put a garland on the neck of a cow. How much value will the cow give to that garland? Even when the garland falls, it doesn't even know. Isn't it? That is the amount of value Mahatmas give to their body. What about Moodhatmas? For them, body is everything. All advertisement you see in the television, everything is related to body only. Correct. How much misery, how much misery. Right, next one. Na bhumirapo na cha vannirasti na chanilo mesti na chambaram cha evam viditva paramatmarupam guhashayam nishkalamadvitiyam samasta sakshim sadasat vihinam prayati shuddham paramatmarupam na bhumirapo na cha vannirasti na chanilo mesti na chambaram cha guhashayam nishkalamadvitiyam samasta sakshim sadasat vihinam prayati shuddham paramatmarupam samasta sakshim sadasat vihinam prayati shuddham paramatmarupam. Yes. Now what is being said? Na bhumihi, na apaha, na cha vannirasti me. In me there is no bhumi, earth, na apaha, water, vanni, fire, anilaha, air, ambaram, space. None of them exist in me. But, oh Guru, earlier you said everything exists in you. Verse number 15. Etasmat jayate pranaha manaha sarvendriyani cha kham vayur jyotiraapaha prithvi vishwasya dharini. You said everything exists in me. Now you are saying nothing exists in you. Oh Guru, please don't confuse me. Already I am totally confused. Right. Now can you see the contradiction there? Verse number 15, if you see, what does it say? From this everything comes out. Verse number 23, what does it say? Nothing exists in me. Does it exist or does it not exist? Make your stand clear, O Guru. Tell one thing. Now see, it is like this. A beginner of spirituality, for him what is real? The world is real. God is unseen, so unreal. So that is the level of the student. For him, the world which is seen, which is heard, smelled, tasted, that alone is real for him. That is the level of the student. What is the level of the teacher? Highest. What is his level? God alone exists, nothing else exists. For him, world is an illusion. For the student, world is a reality. For the teacher, world is an illusion. So if the teacher has to lift the student, what he should do? He has to come down to the level of the student. That's the first step. Second step, raise the student to his level. So when he comes down to the level of the student, he has to accept what the student says. So according to the student, the world is real. So then what does the teacher say? Okay, This world is real, but this world has come from that consciousness. World is an effect, consciousness is the cause. Right? Then what does the teacher say? Okay, now you are seeing the world. Where do you see the world? In the mind. What is mind? Thoughts. Where does all those thoughts stay? In consciousness. So essentially what is the world? It is consciousness. So can you say the world is existing? No. What exists? Only consciousness. Yes. Now he takes him to the other level. There is no world, there is only consciousness. That is why another term is used. Verse number 24. Sat asat vihinam. Sat means effect, asat means cause. That which is free from cause-effect relationship. So totally there are 4 stages in which this knowledge is given. First stage, the student sees only the world. Or let us take the example of a mud pot. So the student see the pot. So what is the first step? The pot is an effect. What is the cause? What is the cause of this mud pot? So the second step, what is it? Mud is the cause of the pot. So mud is the cause, pot is the effect. Right. Now the third step. Actually, is there something called pot? Substance-wise, there is nothing called pot. Pot is nothing but a name of a form. Nama Rupa doesn't exist. What exists is only mud. So therefore, you cannot say pot is an effect. Because as such, nothing has come out. So since pot is not an effect, stage number 4, you cannot call mud as a cause. Got it? When you say cause of what? So since pot cannot be the effect, mud cannot be called the cause. So these are the 4 stages. First you start from the level of the student, then you go to the level of the teacher. So here it is said, sad asat vihinam, free from cause-effect relationship. From the level of the teacher, the snake never appeared in the rope. There is no question of snake. Where is the snake? What exists is only the rope. Rajju sarpanyaya. So if you say, no, snake has come from the rope. So snake is the effect, rope is the cause. What nonsense. Snake itself has not come. Where is the question of cause? When snake has never come, snake can never be the effect. Since snake is not the effect, rope cannot be the cause. Sat asat vihinam. Evam viditva. This way, when you know Paramatma Rupam, the nature of your own Supreme Self. Where is it? Guha Shayam. Shayam, lying. Where? Guha, in the cave of your heart. As the very core of your being. What is his nature? Nishkalam, without divisions, without parts, indivisible. Advitiyam, non-dual. Samasta Sakshim, the ultimate witness, the one which witnessed everything. When you evam viditva, when you know your own self like this, what happens to you? Shuddham Paramatma Rupam Prayati. You attain the nature of Paramatma, the Supreme Self. So when you come to know the Supreme Self like this, you attain your highest nature. Right. Fine. The Upanishad comes to an end here, but naturally, whatever is said here, intellectually we appreciate, but we find it difficult to live. So what should be the cause? Knowledge has been given. Adihi Bhagavan Brahma Vidyam Varishta. Brahma Vidya has been given. Now we suppose we are not able to understand it. Who has to be blamed? Brahmaji? No. Ashwalayana might have got knowledge by now. But what about us? So what happens is, majority of us, we find it difficult. So what should be the cause? The cause is, mind is not yet prepared. It is not pure. In spite of listening to this knowledge, if nothing has happened to you, you still remain like a Brahman, changeless. If this is your condition, then understand, mind is not fully prepared. Remember, what is the qualification given by Brahmaji to gain this knowledge? Shraddha, Bhakti, Dhyana Yogad Avaihi. Brahmaji has, in the beginning itself, he has taken insurance. If you are not understanding, don't blame me. Only if you have this qualification, you will understand. Correct? So if we are not able to understand, there is some kind of lack in Shraddha, Bhakti or effort. So therefore, in order to purify the mind, now comes a next verse. In case you are not able to understand this, you find it difficult, don't worry, you have to purify the mind. How to purify the mind? A technique is given. Next one. Yaha shatarudriyamadhite sogniputo bhavate surapanat puto bhavate brahmahatyayat puto bhavate kritya krityat puto bhavate tasmat avimuktamashrito bhavate atyashrami sarvada sakritva japet. Yeah. So what has to be done? Now this is meant for the inferior seekers, not the high quality. Madhyama or adhama seekers who find it difficult. So what he has to do? Yaha, one who shatarudriyam adhite, one who studies shatarudriyam. Adhite means to chant. One who chants shatarudriyam means rudram chamakam. One who chants. Why is it called Shatarudriyam? In Krishna Yajurveda, there are 101 branches. In all these 101 branches, this Rudram Chamakam comes. Therefore, it is called as Shatarudriyam. So, what has to be done in order to purify the mind? Now, this is one of the very many means of purification. This is called as a Vachika Karma. In order to purify the mind, there are three means. One is Kaika Karma, physical action. Second is Vachika Karma, action at the level of speech. The third one is Manasika Karma, mental actions. Any action will have to give results. So yoga, what you call homa, havana, yaga, etc. when we do, that is physical action. It purifies the mind. When we do the chanting of the scriptures, that is Vachika Karma. What is the purpose? It purifies the mind. Again, there is Manasika Karma called Upasana, meditating on one particular God. It is all mind level action. Right? So various means are given to purify the mind. Now here one mean is given to purify the mind. What is it? Vachika Karma, by chanting. So the one, yaha shatarudriyam adhite, one who chants shatarudriyam, rudram chamakam. Now in the commentary, Pujya Gurudev has said that chanting Kaivalya Upanishad itself can be taken as shatarudriyam. That itself is shatarudriyam. So chanting Kaivalya Upanishad itself will do. various interpretations. That is also fine. So one who chants, what happens to him? Saha agniputo bhavati. He becomes purified from fire. Now what does it mean? In the Vedic times, fire was taken as the altar of worship. Just like today we take Rama, Krishna, etc. In Vedic times they used to take fire as the altar of worship. So any disrespect shown to the fire, sacrificial fire, is considered to be papa. That's why even if you try to, if you want to put off the sacrificial fire, you don't put off by blowing it. You don't do that. Why? It contains saliva. Saliva is, it's an impure way of putting off. So they have this long tube, etc., pipe or something to put off. Other means are used. So the point is this, sacrificial fire you should not disrespect. Suppose one has done it, then if you chant this Shatarudriyam, Rudram Chamakam, what will happen? Agniputaha bhavati. He becomes free from that papa. Agniputa also means he become pure like fire. Agnivat putaha bhavati. That meaning also is there. Then Surapanat puto bhavati. Surapana means what? Drinking liquor is called Surapana. So they are different kind of spiritual people. They are also spiritual people only. They take spirits. So that spirit is denied here. That is considered to be a sin. So if you have taken liquor, etc., that papa is gone when you chant this. That doesn't mean you can drink and then chant. Right? Swamiji, is a wonderful idea what you are telling. See, there has to be a heart which confesses, right? That is also needed. Chanting with a confessing heart. Saying that, oh Lord, in the future, I will try my best not to do. That effort will be there. Then it's okay. From the depth of your heart, you repent for what you do. Then only all these things will work. Surapanat puto bhavati, brahmahatyayat puto bhavati. Suppose you have done brahmahatya. Brahmahatya means killing a brahmana is called brahmahatya. So if you have done that papam, you will be free. Oh, so only brahmana killing is papam. Everything else is okay. No. Killing a brahmana is considered to be the greatest papam. Because brahmana is supposed to be the highest among creation. I am not talking of jati brahmana, who is born as a brahmana. No. In scriptures, brahmana is the one who has a pure mind. A person who has a sattvic mind is strictly considered as a brahmana because, and such a brahmana is the highest in the society because he is very near to God. Because what is the qualification needed to know God? Purification of mind. A brahmana is the one whose mind is pure. Killing such a person has to be considered greatest sin. Even if you have committed that sin, don't worry. If you chant this, you will be free from that. Kritya krityat puto bhavati. Kritya, you have done something which should not have been done. Nishiddha karma is called kritya. Akritya, you have not done something which you are supposed to do. Nitya naimittika karma. So you have done something which you are not supposed to do. You have not done something which you are supposed to do. Both, they are all papams. You will be free from that. Tasmat, with this chanting, avimuktamashritaha bhavati. He gets refuge in avimukta. What is this avimukta? Mukta means what? Liberation. Vimukta means total liberation. Avimukta means one who is not totally liberated. No, that is not the meaning. This is the name of Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva is the one who is not liberated? No way. So here avimukta means one who, mukta means to give up. One who doesn't give up the Kashi Kshetra even during Pralaya. Therefore one of his name is avimukta. Even during Pralaya time, it is said Lord Shiva doesn't leave the Kashi. Therefore his name is Avimukta. That is a very traditional meaning. More logical meaning is the one who doesn't leave the Supreme Self, meaning one who ever abides in the Self. Avimukta. And more sweeter meaning is one who never leaves his devotees. So such a person who does this chanting, he gets refuge in the Supreme Lord. Thus he is ever protected. Therefore, Atyashrami Sarvada Sakridva Japet. Atyashrami. The highest ashrama is called Atyashrama. This term has come before. Where has it come? Atyashramasthas sakalendriyani. Verse number 5. Remaining in Atyashrama. Atyashrama means sannyasashrama. So Atyashrami, the one who is a sannyasi. So what is the meaning of sannyasi? The one who has kept God as the highest priority in life. This is how it has to be translated. So such a person, sarvada sakridva javet, may he chant it every time, or at least sakridva, at least once in a day. Let him chant. So what will happen if you chant like this? All the papas, negativities, vasanas will be destroyed, and then you will be able to understand, know and realize the highest truth. Mind will be purified. The last verse. Anena jnanam apnoti samsararnavanashanam tasmadevam viditvainam Kaivalyam phalamasnute. Kaivalyam phalamasnuta iti. Yes, anena, with this jnanam apnoti, you attain this highest knowledge, which is samsara arnava nashanam, which is the destroyer of the ocean of suffering. Arnava means ocean. This knowledge is the destroyer of the ocean of suffering. So with this chanting, your mind becomes pure. With a pure mind, you gain knowledge, and with knowledge, all the sufferings end. Tasmad evam viditva. Knowing thus, you attain Kaivalyam. Kaivalyam phalam asnute. You attain Kaivalya phalam. What is Kaivalya? Moksha. You attain liberation. Kaivalyam phalamasnuta iti. Twice it is repeated. Why is it repeated twice? So those days it was Shruti. The teacher used to teach not with pen and paper. It was used through verbally the teaching. So when will I know when the Upanishad has ended? So in order to indicate that the text has ended, verbally an indication had to be given. So how to give a verbal indication? Repeat the word twice. So, Kaivalyam phalam asnute iti. Thus, this Upanishad gets over. Iti Atharva Vede Kaivalya Upanishad Samapta. A beautiful Upanishad. An Upanishad which is fit to be by-hearted. Only 24 verses. And what beautiful mantras. Isn't it? The cream of all the Upanishads have been taken and put in this. Bhagavan Sri Krishna himself has copied so many from this Upanishad. If you see. Right. I sincerely invoke the grace of the Lord, the blessings of Puja Gurudev. May we be serious in our sadhana and may we progress spiritually. Hari Om. Thank you. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet Asato Ma Sadgamaya तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ।